Dimitri.
On behalf of the Greek people, I'd like to express my indignation and absolute condemnation for the barbarity of Putin's war of choice against Ukraine. We salute the heroism and fighting spirit of the Ukrainian people against aggression and tyranny. We are opposed to Russian revisionism and revanchism, against any revisionism and any revanchism, any attempt at turning the clock of history back to the time of empires. We stand united, but are we really united? All of us here. Let me be clear. There is one country in our midst that has refused to impose sanctions on Russia. It has tried to preserve an equilibrium, an equidistance, buying arms from Russia and selling arms to Ukraine, refusing to concede to the expulsion of Russia from the Council of Europe. The only NATO country to do so refused for days to use the word war and reluctantly promised to close the straits only after the Russian fleet had passed and in coordination with Moscow. Are we together, or is there one country, Turkey, doing business out of this tragedy when even Switzerland, as Sabine has said, left with neutrality? Flights banned from Europe are being diverted through Istanbul. Goods banned because of our sanctions are being traded through Turkey. Is it Turkey? Turkey has to decide, is it one of us or not? Is it Europeans sharing our European values and our fight in their defense? Or is it a war profiteer, a black marketeer, a businessman at a time of struggle? This is the question in our midst. Greece has been the country the most supportive of Turkey's European vocation. I personally have worked in my professional life for that, but confronted with this existential struggle, there is no time for hypocrisy. This is no time for business and profit. No time for any Oriental bazaar of give and take, of a value-free equidistance. This is the time to decide who we are and with whom we are. And I tell my Turkish colleagues, this is the time that you decide who you are and with whom you want to be. Thank you.
Merci Gaëtan, c'est à vous et se prépare.
Thank you very much. The representative for Turkey now.
Herr Präsident, liebe Kollegen.
Thank you, Chair. In order to make the right declaration, if there's to be any comparison between Cyprus and Ukraine, we wish it to be noted that the Greek Cypriots have been carrying out a bloody campaign on these islands, and this undermined the Zurich-London Treaty, amongst others. I believe that there's no more that needs to be said in order to and we must ensure that international agreements are respected, in fact. Unfortunately, we have seen that some leaders and representatives of Greece have not recognized the severity of this situation and want to manipulate the situation. And within international law is where we can carry out our action. We want to protect and defend peace. And this is not just a fight for Turkey, but a global one. How can we allow war to be manipulated? This is no time for manipulation. Children are dying, ladies and gentlemen. We wish to defend freedom in the region. The representative from Greece asked what Turkey's stance is. Turkey is on the side of peace. We are in favor of working within international law. Turkey is in favor of peace in this region. And what about Greece? Russian military aggression against the Ukraine is an unacceptable infringement of international agreements, as well as is the action in Donetsk and Lugansk. It's unacceptable to us. We can see that this threatens the stability of our region, and we will continue to defend Ukraine's sovereignty, territorial integrity, and place within the international system, including Crimea and Donbass. We call on the Russian Federation to cease this aggression and to return to dialogue and diplomacy. In order to prevent further loss of life and destruction, we must have a ceasefire as soon as possible. And at the same time, we are doing everything that we can to help Ukraine with humanitarian aid. We hope that negotiations in Belarus will lead to a ceasefire. Thank you. The Greek delegation was cited. They can respond.
We all agree to condemn Russia. We all agree in rhetoric and words. The whole world. The question is what we do. Are we going to turn words into acts, or are we going to remain in words and peace-loving rhetoric, empty of any substance? The question was very simple, and it was not answered. Is Turkey going to impose sanctions like the rest of Europe all together in defense of our liberty, in defense of our civilization, in defense of our European values? Or will it be a profiteering intermediary between the warring parties, making profit out of the tragedy of the Ukrainian people? That was my question, and it was unanswered. Thank you.
Merci, Dimitri.
Thank you, Dimitri.